Welcome to sixth grade reading. You'll need your Of America 2 book. We're going to be looking at pages 260 to 266 in your book. And also you need your vocab list 33, okay? And we're going to say that list 2 times like we've been saying it, okay? So, let's start with that, okay? Pardon me. Wetting, sharpening, loophole, a way of escape, loophole. Vermin, insects or rodents that are destructive, vermin. Ermine, pardon me, a soft white fur, ermine. Consternation, terror, consternation. Swarthy, dark, swarthy. Kith and kin, friends and relatives, kith and kin. Subterraneous, underground, subterraneous. Brook, tolerate, brook. Tabor, a small drum, tabor. Okay, back to the beginning. Wetting, sharpening, wetting. Loophole, a way of escape, loophole. Vermin, insects or rodents that are destructive, vermin. Ermine, a soft white fur, ermine. Consternation, terror, consternation. Swarthy, dark, swarthy. Kith and kin, friends and relatives, kith and kin. Subterraneous, underground, subterraneous. Brook, tolerate, brook. Tabor, a small drum, tabor. All right, so we're going to be starting the story, The Merchant of Venice, and so I'm going to introduce it. This story teaches the importance of kindness to our fellow man. Okay, the author information there, Judy Springfield, adapted from the play by William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare lived hundreds of years ago in England. Many people who loved plays and poetry consider him to be the world's greatest dramatist and poet. He wrote at least 37 plays. You probably recognize the names Romeo and Juliet, Macbeth, and Hamlet. They are characters in 3 famous Shakespearean plays. The following play is a shortened version of another popular play. Someday soon, you will want to read the original version in Shakespeare's own beautiful words, okay? In Venice, there lived a merchant whose name was Antonio. This man was known far and wide for his kindness and generosity. In fact, there were people all over Venice to whom Antonio had loaned money when they were in great need of such help. Antonio was such a generous businessman that he would loan money to those he trusted without expecting to receive any money above the amount they borrowed. In other words, he charged no interest. There was a moneylender in that city whose name was Shylock. He was perhaps the only one in Venice who did not like Antonio. There were 2 reasons why Shylock disliked the merchant. First, he disliked him because Antonio made loans without charging any interest. Shylock also disliked him for a second reason. Although he was kind to everyone, Antonio had made fun of Shylock because he was Jewish. Shylock was one of the few people in Venice who were Jewish in their beliefs. He was also Hebrew in nationality. It was very wrong of Antonio to be unkind to Shylock because of his beliefs. He thought that Shylock should become a Christian, but he was not acting much like a Christian himself when he made fun of Shylock in public, saying things that embarrassed him. Shylock, on his part, was guilty of the same sort of thing, for he would often make fun of those who considered themselves to be Christians. He had to be a little more careful with what he said in public, though, because he was so far outnumbered. He realized that the number of Jews in Venice was comparatively small. Remember that Antonio was kind to everyone, except perhaps to Shylock. It isn't surprising that Antonio had many friends. Of all these, Bassanio was probably his very best friend. One day, Antonio appeared to be sad. His friends asked him if he was worried about his ships at sea. Antonio had invested a great deal of money in them, and he would lose much of his wealth if they should be lost on their voyage. Antonio assured his friends that his ships were not the cause of his worry. One friend suggested that Antonio might be in love, but he insisted this was not true. Antonio said to them, "In sooth, I know not what I am so sad. It wearies me, you say it wearies you. But how I caught it, found it, or came by it, I am to learn, and such a want-wit sickness makes of me, that I have much ado to know myself. That I have much ado to know myself. Okay, so the want wit is a person lacking intelligence, and much ado is much trouble or struggling. Antonio was waiting for his best friend, Bassanio, who had asked to meet him and to discuss something. Maybe Antonio was sad because he suspected his friend wanted a loan. At this time, with most of his money tied up in his investments at sea, he would not be able to loan Bassanio anything. All right, I'm going to stop there, let you finish. You're reading to 266, so just the bottom of that at the picture will be the end of that page. And don't forget, for homework for today is to write your vocab list 33 2 times with definition. Okay, I do have it up here if you can see that. But writing this vocab list 2 times with their definitions, and this will help. The quiz for vocab is on Friday, so this will help you to learn those and be reviewing them every night so that you can be prepared for that, okay? All right, I will let you go, and you can finish the story, or not finish the story, but finish the reading for today, and we will see you in the next lesson.